Good day. Thank you for tuning into another edition of the Daily Scrum News, reporting to you from Washington, D.C. I am your news anchor, Kenneth Morita. Trump is still in full control of the Republican Party after the Democrats failed to garner two-thirds of the Senate vote to convict him for insurrection. In a vote of 43 not guilty to 57 guilty, the jury fell short of the 67 guilty votes required to convict Trump. The votes to convict Trump were never there. It was déjà vu all over again. The Republicans indicated before the trial they would never vote to convict their God, even when he incited the insurrection that murdered a police officer and endangered the lives of members of the Senate, Congress, and that of his then Vice President Pence and his family. As the former majority leader of the Senate and now minority leader, Mitch McConnell made no attempt to whip his senators to vote to impeach Trump. Former President Trump's actions preceding the riot were a disgraceful dereliction of duty. Anyone who decries his awful behavior is accused of insulting millions of voters. That is an absurd deflection. 74 million Americans did not invade the Capitol. Hundreds of rioters did. 74 million Americans did not engineer the campaign of disinformation and rage that provoked it. One person did, just one, said McConnell. McConnell gave Trump a mulligan and condemned his behavior on the other hand. He gave Trump a get-out-of-jail-free card and an olive branch, assuming he will relinquish his stranglehold on the Republican Party and not seek re-election. What Husling did was quite the opposite. He not only legitimized Trump's behavior, he gave him the keys to the crumbling kingdom. For the next 4 years leading up to the next U.S. presidential election, the McConnell-led Republicans will battle against the Trump Party Republicans for supremacy. Only 7 Republicans had the courage to stand up and vote with their conscience and with the evidence presented. They stood for democracy, and history will remember them kindly. While the final vote did not lead to a conviction, the substance of the charge is not in dispute. Even those opposed to the conviction, like Senate Minority Leader McConnell, believe Donald Trump was guilty of a disgraceful dereliction of duty and practically and morally responsible for provoking the violence unleashed on the Capitol, said Biden. This has been yet another phase of the greatest witch hunt in the history of our country. No president has ever gone through anything like it, and it continues because our opponents cannot forget the almost 75 million people, the highest number ever for a sitting president, who voted for us just a few short months ago, said Donald Trump. 5 years ago, Republican senators warned what would become of their party if Trump became their nominee. 5 years later, Trump tried to overturn the results of an election and provoked an assault on our government. And well over half of Senate Republicans decided to condone it. Let it live in infamy, Trump's final terrible legacy, said Chuck Schumer, Senate Majority Leader. Until we meet again, this is Kenneth Morita reporting from Washington, D.C. for the Daily Scrum News.